Andres loved one girl very much, but for some reasons he could not admit it to her. After a very long time, he had the opportunity to meet her again, but it was already too late. It died. But even after Andres' death, she was able to find out about his feelings. Now I'll tell you how it happened. On the streets of the city of Cuba, everyone was familiar with the duo Vivo Kinkaju and Grandpa. Andres saved Vivo from dogs a few years ago, and that's how they met. It turned out that Vivo, just like Grandpa, loves music very much. And from that moment on, they performed together in the central square of their city with their songs. They had a perfect life, but one day Andres received a letter from Marta. Many years ago, Marta and Andres performed together. In her letter, Marta asked for forgiveness for all those years that she had not written to him. And she suggested that he come to Miami to sing with her for the last time. He hesitated for a long time, but people in the city told him not to miss such a chance and to definitely go. Many years ago, Andres could not admit his feelings to Marta, because he was afraid that she would not follow her dream and would not go to Miami to perform. Without Marta, the cube was very empty. Andres was very sad and he expressed all his sadness and love in a song, but he was afraid to play it. And for this reason, this song is still stored in his chest with memories. Vivo absolutely did not want to give up everything because of some letter and go to another city. He didn't want a change in his life, but soon realized that he was wrong and agreed to the trip. Andres decided to go to Marta to give the song and finally confess his feelings to her. Grandpa went to bed, and Vivo decided to help him pack his suitcase and was also getting ready for bed. In the morning, Vivo woke up in a very good mood and went to wake up his grandfather. But as soon as he approached him, he froze in horror. Grandfather died with a piece of paper in his hands, on which a song was written for Martha. A strong wind blew and the leaf flew straight into the open window and Vivo ran after him. Chasing through all the streets, Vivo caught up with the leaf only near the fountain. He was very sad about the loss of Andres. That evening, the whole city was saying goodbye to Grandfather Andres, who had already fallen in love with them. Vivo decided, no matter what it cost him, but to take the song to Miami and give it to Martha. But he couldn't get to Miami, and then he decided to get into a suitcase with Andres' relatives and leave with them. He successfully entered their house and it remains to get out of the suitcase. Vivo couldn't do it silently and Gabriela noticed him. Vivo was able to escape from her and went to look for at least some information about Martha. A bus pulled up to the stop where he was sitting, on which it was written about Martha's concert. And now he already wants to go into it to go to Miami, but he is kicked out of there and he decides to go back to the house. Gabriela found out about what Vivo wanted to do and decided to help him. She bought bus tickets to Miami and they were already packed. But something went wrong and they didn't have time to catch the bus. Gabriela offered to ride a bike and catch up with the bus, but while jumping over the bridge, they fell right on the ship that was passing at that time. Gabriela looked at the navigator and it turned out that there was still a way by which they could get to the concert on time. She made a raft and they sailed down the river. Gabriela tried to distract Vivo from his fears and they moved on. Gabby and Vivo were singing songs and having fun, when suddenly a heavy downpour, or rather a hurricane, broke all the tranquility. The friends held on to the raft with all their might, but it did not save them. The song that was lying on Vivo's hat flew away. Gabby was able to get it and swim away, and Vivo remained helplessly sitting on a tree. Gabby's mom discovered the loss of her daughter, and she also saw the tickets for the Miami bus and went in search of her daughter. The girls from the Hedgehog Squad took one of the girls' dad's boat and went after Gabby to pick up Vivo and take care of him, because they thought that Gabby did not know how to handle an animal. Meanwhile, Gabby had just woken up on her raft and frantically started looking for the song, but she didn't find it. But she was found by a girl from the Hedgehog Squad. The girls said they would return the song only if Gabby gave them the animal. Gabby understood how important it was for Vivo that the song was delivered on time and agreed to this. Vivo was escaping from a huge snake and it seemed that he was about to be eaten, but two birds came to the rescue, which Vivo helped a little. And now 3 of them are looking for 4 girls. The girls, meanwhile, were not bored at all. Now not Vivo, but they were running from a huge snake. Vivo flew with the birds to the cry of the girls. He was able to entangle the snake around the tree and thereby save everyone. Gabby asked the girls to return the song, but it turned out that the song flew out of one of the girls' bags and got wet. Gabby and Vivo were terrified and didn't know what to do. Marta's assistant handed her a newspaper, which was written about the death of Andres. She was very upset and could not accept that everything had happened like this. Vivo was on his way home with the girls. He blamed himself very much for not being able to deliver the song. Gabby was constantly singing a song, but she sang the melody incorrectly, and this annoyed Vivo very much, and he decided to show her the right melody. And suddenly it dawned on me. Gabby knows the lyrics, and Vivo knows the melody, and they will be able to show it to Marta. The friends quickly recorded the notes of the song and turned the boat towards Miami. And now they are approaching the cherished city. The concert starts very soon, and that's why the friends were driving at maximum speed to make it to the beginning. Gabby's mom asked the bus driver where Gabby was supposed to go, but he didn't know anything. And then she went to the building where Martha's concert is located. Vivo and Gabby were already driving through the city to the place where Marta would perform. Gabby and Vivo in a backpack came to the entrance and asked for a ticket. Gabby didn't have it and she ran inside. The guards immediately went after her. By this time, her mother came up and also began to look for her daughter all over the building. Vivo went in search of Marta. She was standing and holding a newspaper in her hands, in which it was written about the death of Andres. Vivo came up to her and she immediately realized that this was the animal that performed with Andres. Marta asked why he was here and Vivo handed her a piece of paper with a song from Andre. Marta was very touched and admitted that she also loved Andres very much and decided to sing his song at her farewell concert. At that moment, Vivo remembered about Gabby and went in search of her. Gabby's mom didn't believe her and thought she made it up. Vivo finally found the car they were driving in and gestured that he could do everything. Gabby's mom was in shock, but she had to believe Gabby and Vivo and ask for forgiveness. She decided that Gabby would now live with them. Gabby explained to her mother that she understood Vivo and how Andres felt, because he did not have time to tell Marta that he loved her, and Gabby did not have time to tell her father. Mom supported her and said that Dad always knew how much she loved him. Mom was told to fasten her seatbelts because they were going to Martha's concert. They only had time for the very last song, namely the one that Andres wrote. And now Gabby and Vivo are performing in the central square, as Vivo and Andres used to do, and their listeners are still in love with their music.